Carson, what in the heck? It's been so long since you've released a video. I know, it's been a while. Here's what we've been doing. For the past like 2 weeks, we have been high boy spraying. And I promise, there's a video coming out very shortly. It's probably one of the coolest videos I've ever made. I got some drone footage of both of these things going at the same time. Coolest drone footage I have ever gotten in my life. It's one of those things where, like, you know, it's not the coolest. I mean, it's pretty cool equipment. Like, how can you not absolutely love that thing? But it's one of those ones that's like, you know, it might not be the coolest equipment ever. You know, I have drone footage of the 8RX and stuff, but this is one of those drone things that, like, I'm gonna take a screenshot of and make a poster and hang on my wall. It's that cool. It's that memorable. But the video for that is currently being reviewed by the sponsor because they have to make sure that I'm not saying bad things or cursing or making terroristic threats in my videos that would be associated with their name for good reason. So that's getting reviewed. I'm gonna make this video, and today I got the Money Pit 450 with me. But before I go and get this thing unloaded, I just want to take a minute and just say thank you to you guys, because I would not be in this position that I'm in today without you guys watching, liking, subscribing, commenting. It all adds up. You guys have no idea how much it really helps me out. And then this past week was Hefty Days. And if you would have told me 3 years ago that at a farm show, probably 1 in every 10 people that I saw would come up and talk to me and recognize me, I would have never believed you. But it was absolutely amazing talking to all you guys. So if you came up and talked to me, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. It's awesome seeing you guys, talking to you guys, learning where you're from, what your farming practices are. Just really appreciate it. And my dad was there, and some of you guys noticed him and went and talked to him. That's awesome. Just, I'm truly blessed with the family that I have and the opportunities I've been given, and just thank you guys so much, because it's one of those things where, you know, I'm not the biggest YouTuber ever, but every minute that I've had with you guys has been absolutely incredible. It's given me a lot of cool opportunities, a lot of cool people to work with. Made a lot of contacts in the industry. Just, it's amazing what you guys have allowed me to do. So, thank you. All right, enough of the tear jerking. Let's get this money pit off the back of my truck. Don't worry, this is OSHA approved. So like I said, we're gonna go check out the organic crops, but also a few weeks ago we actually had a storm run through and do some wind damage to some of our corn. And I actually made a video where I went out and showed you guys all this wind damage, but my mic wasn't working and I had no audio for it. So I deleted it for good reason, because watching me do hand motions at corn probably isn't that interesting, but I don't know. I could be wrong. All right, who wants to play the game of how many kicks is it going to take to get this thing started? I'm going to guess 3. Oh my gosh. These bikes don't look that big, like on camera or video, but they're freaking massive. It's hard to get my leg over it. Okay. 1, 2, oh, 2. Oh, I didn't have to. Give me a second. Trust me, I am a professional. That's a lie. That's the lie. 3. I'll take it. Alright, well, here's kind of our first victim of the down corn. Look at that. With the high boy, I can just drive right in the field. Uncontrollably, but I got it. Yeah, so when we load the high boys, we kind of destroy a little area of corn each field like this. But it's worth it for the fungicide. Like I said, guys, you guys have to check out that video, because it should be, so today's video is coming out Wednesday. That one should be coming out Sunday. I usually release it at like 11:45 or noonish. So make sure you guys watch that video, because I'm pretty proud of it. But let's go check out some corn here. Now, I'd also just like to state, that this year has been an incredible growing year. Okay, all of our crop looks freaking amazing, or almost all of our crop. I'll show you one exception. So I'm not complaining about this down corn. It's not really that big of a deal. It's not going to affect the yield too much. It's going to be kind of a pain in the butt to combine, but that's about it. I hate walking through cornfields. So I guess I said downed corn. None of it's really down. I should have said goosenecked or lodged. So here we have a very minimal example of it. And actually there's a little weed right here. Pull that guy. But as you can see right here, how the corn root comes up at an angle and then goes up. Kind of the same on this side. This side is a lot less easy to tell. This is not bad at all. It gets worse up there. But basically the wind caused the root to, or the bottom of the stalk to like make a J almost, which isn't that big of a deal. It just makes it harder to combine and makes it really hard to spray with the high boys. In fact, right here's a high boy mark. But I don't know, let's get down a little further. So here's a decent example. It's probably harder to see in camera, but this corn stalk goes that way and then comes up. But these ones go this way, then up. Those ones are pretty dang bad right there. So when you're spraying for this, the row looks like it's curving, okay? It looks like it comes this way, goes back this way, and then back that way. So when you're spraying, you actually don't know where the center of the row is, and it's pretty common, as you can see right here, the highboy wheel mark is really towards this side of the row. And in fact, right there, it's nearly running over that corn crop. But it's like 15 inches away from that side and nearly touching that side. And that's kind of what we've been dealing with down here and kind of our central hub of fields is we have quite a bit of this lodge or goosenecked corn. I don't know if lodge is the right word for it. Lodge might be something else. Goosenecked corn that was extremely hard to spray through and isn't going to be much easier to combine through, because when you're in the combine and the sprayer for that matter, you cannot see down here at all. But like I said, this is all very minor when it comes to terms of like yield and actually affecting us for the year. I'm not complaining at all. I'm just showing you guys what's happening here, because I think it's important for me to show you guys everything that's going on the farm. But like I said, we're incredibly blessed this year. We've had nearly perfect growing conditions, and we have some really good potential for some great corn. Seeing ears this big this early in the season is a really promising sign. Yeah, if we could get one more rain, we could have some like record corn yields here this year. But these good crops are a nice relief from last year, where we had some not very good crops. Because last year, if you guys are new to the channel or you just don't remember, last year we had, I wouldn't call it severe, but we were definitely in a drought. The stuff down here never got a rain in July or August, and the corn showed it pretty good. The soybeans were terrible. They're just awful. So now this you guys might recognize as the organic rye field. Now you're probably wondering, Carson, what are you doing here? The crop has already been harvested, and you're right. But what I'm supposed to be doing is looking for any weedy spots and then marking them down on our op center here, because we're not going to plant anything more this year, and we do not want any weeds making seed heads. So as you can see, my cousin already came out and he already disked a little bit where some bad weed spots were. We want to disc the least amount possible because we want the least amount of erosion as possible, but it's organic, not no-till. You know, people either want organic, you're either going to get organic or no-till. You're not going to get both. It just doesn't work. Now the rye itself is an amazing weed suppressant. You can have a field of rye with zero weed control and it'll be the cleanest field ever. But in the middle of that field, you'll have one spot where the drill lifted up, and that spot will be weedy as heck. Now Now I'm seeing some individual weeds like right in there, which I should maybe actually turn around and grab. But overall, I mean, even though this crop's already been harvested, not many weeds. Now where were those weeds at? It's amazing also with the sun, it's easy to see green one direction but not the other. Here they are. Grass, grass. This is the bugger I was looking at. Oh, and I broke them off. Where's the stem? Well, oh, right there. Haha! Got him. Someone commented this in the rye harvesting video, and I completely agree, but I got the drone way up in the air. If you guys haven't checked out that video, you should do that too, after this one, of course. But rye is just not grown in this area. It just, corn and soybeans is all you see here. So it's absolutely amazing when you get the drone up in the air and you see this field of yellow surrounded by green. Just everywhere you can see, and as far as you can see in every direction, it's just green, 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 green. Just this big yellow square in the middle. It's absolutely one of the prettiest things I think about rye here in southern Minnesota. All right, well, I'm gonna ride around for a few minutes, pick some more weeds, mark some more in case you have to come disc some areas. I'm not gonna show you guys for all that. I'll pick back up when we're checking out the other organic crops. Also, we have some oats here that we will probably be combining in the next couple weeks. At least the plan is to combine them. Actually, no, I'm gonna stop because I have never actually seen oats like up close in person. And that's gonna fall over. Okay, here's the thing, guys. Like, dirt bikes, awesome for running around stuff, but if you actually have to get off, just get a gator or a UTV of some sort. That's probably gonna fall over. Yeah, interesting. I've never actually like looked at oats up close, and here they are in our field. This stuff got pretty wind blown too. This is gonna this is gonna kind of be crappy to harvest as well, because with small grains like this, not so much oats. I think oats you have to cut pretty low. Oh, maybe not. I mean, here's an oat plant. So I mean, with small grains, typically you try and cut just below the grains, but when the plant is laying flat, you kind of just got to cut ground level and take all that extra straw in, which takes a lot more horsepower, a lot more fuel, because now not only are you having to process all the oats, but you're also having to process all the straw that comes in with it. It's kind of an issue we had with the rye as well. So here we are, guys, at the organic cornfield. There's our organic do not spray sign right there. I'm not going to spend much time going in because, I'm going to be honest with you guys, you can not hardly tell at all that it's organic. It's doing incredibly well. This is the better of the two varieties. I believe this half the field is a Pioneer, and the other half of the field is a Viking. And the Pioneer side actually emerged way better. It looks a lot better. Been very, very happy with it. If it's gonna yield anything like it has the last 2 years, we'll be very happy with it. We have gone in and done some mowing, as you can see, like right here, we had some weed issues right on the field approach. Oh, these bikes are so freaking heavy. So yeah, we came in and mowed a little bit, some areas, but overall, this looks very good. Let's go look at the soybeans. I think you guys will be amazed by those. I mean, like, just look at that. That's organic corn. Looks absolutely incredible. Let's see how good I can keep it down the row here. A little tricky, but yeah, like these soybeans look absolutely gorgeous. We planted them at like just the right time and cultivated them. Very, very few weeds. We do have a fair amount of volunteer corn, but we really don't care about that. But man, these are gorgeous soybeans. I mean, they're up to my knees on the dirt bike. I'm having a very hard time riding through these rows here. You can see the rows where the cultivator has driven though. These 2 rows I'm going down right now are bigger than the rows on the other side of it. Compaction, it's a real thing, guys. One thing with soybeans is we have had a lot of issues with aphids in the past. Not on the organic, just in general, right? And we spray a lot of insecticide on our soybeans. You cannot do that on organic for obvious reasons. It's organic. But I mean, there's a little bit of insect damage on these soybeans. I don't know if it's necessarily aphids, but I mean, they look... First of all, I'm not really seeing many aphids. I'm trying to find the young leaves. Maybe it's a little bit too late for aphids, but man, these soybeans just look incredible for being organic. And then right next to it, in the same field, is the crappiest field of sweet corn you have ever seen in your life. I don't know if it was just a bad planting window that we were in. I mean, it wasn't a great planting window when we planted this stuff, but it's uneven. It didn't emerge very well. I mean, look at this gap right here between these corn plants and that gap. Just didn't emerge very well. You have one that is shoulder high right next to one that's waist high. I mean, I don't know what happened in this field of sweet corn, but it is ugly. We didn't really want to plant sweet corn. We did it because we want to try and plant, I think it's peas next year. So they couldn't give us any peas this year. They didn't have any extra acres. I don't know if it's a cannery we're going through. I don't know who we're doing this through, to be honest with you. It's kind of Dad and Chris's thing. But we were kind of hoping that, you know, if we took some sweet corn acres this year, that we'd get some pea acres next year. And yeah, the sweet corn is ugly, to say the least. What's kind of funny is, so when you're a certified organic, an organic like crop inspector comes out to your fields once a year, and he inspects it to make sure that, you know, you're not using pesticides or fertilizers or whatever. And he was walking through the soybean field here, and he mentioned that this was the nicest, cleanest field of soybeans, or of organic soybeans, that he has ever seen. And then he walked over and he saw this, and he didn't have a whole lot to say about it. Which I think is funny, because it's like there's literally a line right there between fantastic and just crap. I shouldn't say it's crap. Yeah, it kind of is. You know, this whole organic thing has just been kind of a big experiment. We've been super happy with how it's turned out so far. It's a lot of work, but there's, you know, experiments within experiments, and this is one of them that just didn't work out that well. But I'm not for sure what the plan is for this field next year. I'm guessing it's going to be corn. Hopefully, if we get some pea acres, what's sweet corn right now will be peas. I'm guessing the cornfield I just showed you a little bit ago is going to be soybeans, and the rye and oats field will be corn. I don't think we're going to do any rye next year. At least that's the plan. Of course, every time I tell you guys a plan for stuff like this, it almost always ends up changing, so it probably will, but at the current moment, that's the plan. Now I just got to figure out how to get this started up and back to the other end of the field. Pretty sunset though. It's kind of like a haze over the sun. That's pretty neat. One thing about soybeans, for those of you who do not farm soybeans, they are the best boot polisher ever. That's my one free life hack for the day. If you need to polish your boots, ride a dirt bike up and down the soybean field, they'll be gorgeous. Anyways, thank you guys for watching. Be tuned for the highboy video coming out hopefully Sunday. Hopefully. See you then.